this week on Stay Out of My Fridge.
We should each go buy something from the thrift store and just see what the most random thing is. You know,
I scare people because I'll go to the place and I'll unscrew the crushed red peppers and pour it into the ranch because I want the ranch to be like a paste of crushed red peppers and ranch. Oh, and it's so good.
I taught my son that too because he's like, and same thing with, like, I was like, hey, instead of salt in your fries, I was like, salt your ketchup. And he goes, huh? I'm like, salt your ketchup. I was like, that way, whenever you dip it, salt and ketchup every bite. And he's like, Dad, you're brilliant. I'm like, don't tell anybody.
Like, I want it to be a really good, big old hunkin' piece of meat that I don't like steroids unless it's in my chicken.
That one way to make it, but everybody loves them, and everybody loves you guys, and hopefully maybe us in the trio. The voice you're hearing is me. It's Matt. It's Beard Laws. Joining me as always, Brandon, J McDermott, Yuban Whakinov. Healthy. We're here. We're recording on a different day, so you might see a little bit of a different energy. And if you do, let us know. It's different, much different at the time that we're recording, and maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. But either way, I think we're all still pretty sober, and that's interesting as well, because usually I'll have coffee with a little bit of a when we record in the morning, and for me, I just got home and it's just straight water, so I might have to sneak a beverage. But hopefully you guys are doing all right. I know you've had a crazy weekend, and
yeah, I mean, I know whenever you said sober, I had to cross my fingers because I definitely was frustrated after trying to get logged into this bad boy and hit that bongarooski like I was knocking a baseball out of the fucking park, bro. This thing was, I am feeling good. But yeah, I got stuck in freaking Southwest Missouri. And for those of you guys that are unaware, that is Branson, or is what they say, God's country, which if it's part of God, it's got to be the taint, because that place is hell.
You think Southwest Missouri's bad? Go to Southeast Missouri. It's just as terrible, if not worse. But the accents start getting like it.
For a little Cape Girardeau?
Yeah. When my dad left prison, he went and moved down, met this guy who's like seriously straight out of like, my name is Earl. But my dad got out of prison and met this old lady who would like let him come stay the night with him. And so, from across the country. And so he moved across the country to Southeast Missouri and stayed in a trailer park with her until, and got her to, welcome to my family's conversation about the history of Brandon J McDermott, but got her to pay for like a PS3 for him and some video games. And so he was living high on the hog for a while until he got kicked out. And then he started working as a handyman for the trailer court for rent. Wow. There's books on books in my life, you guys. Like, I could just write. So anyway,
there's at least one Abandoned Brandon. Go to Amazon.com, Abandoned Brandon, or go to BrandonJMcDermott.com. Get yourself a copy. I got one right next to Steve-O, a hard kick in the nuts. I wonder whose nuts were kicked harder.
We should get one of those whenever I'm like just taking the show off into like a corner it shouldn't be. Brandon's going on a rant.
No, I was going to sympathize too, but maybe it's a Brandon thing that maybe I can relate to. My dad, not saying that your dad's a scumbag or anything, that mine was a gigantic piece of shit, but it was also homeless. So growing up in the streets of, or living in Las Vegas, I got to see him grow up on the streets in Vegas. And one time we were leaving the grocery store when you can get a 25-cent can of soda. I'm going to go ahead and age myself there. We would, after we finished drinking it, we saw that he was on the street and he was pushing his shopping cart, or we like to say his shaggin' wagon. And we threw the cans at him and he just waved. And I don't think he even realized it was ever us. But yeah, I need to put that in a book. My book, the only book that you can catch me in is Whacking Off. So be sure to go to beardlaws.com and get yourself a book today.
Ooh.
Still have this?
I don't know. I was just thinking, like, maybe the people will go there. That'll be the one thing that actually starts to sell, and I don't know if they're still out there. I know I have a copy.
So do I. So if I need to donate
potential.
One,
yeah, we'll figure. That's that's what we need to do. That's our next project. We're gonna do an all about Yuban Whakinov, but we'll put a fun spin on like the life of, or how you've been whacking off, something like that. I don't know, something much more clever.
And I think too that we'll purposely put some pages stuck together. You just go to like, oh no, I feel like I'm missing. Like, is there part of the story? Nah. We'll have words on there that we'll think that they're, they're like, oh, what happened? What happened? You'll never know. The pages are too sticky.
And at the end of each chapter, some people like end them with quotes or whatever, and you can just talk about maybe an actual time or a tip or some advice or a funny urban dictionary about Whakinov, and you can just kind of throw them in there.
They're
We're
not chapters.
brainstorming.
They're nuts. Nut one, nut two.
It'd probably sell really well, and if it doesn't, we'll probably find a copy on Thrift Books or something eventually. But I'd throw it in the background. Probably not going to read it, but either way,
We should do something this week. We should each go buy something from the thrift store and just see what the most random fucking thing is. You know, say under whatever. Oh, somebody's trying to fucking call me. Fuck off.
they're so famous. They like your idea.
They do. You know what? They're so like, hey, hold on. We already have this idea. It's a copyright person already calling. They're like, fuck off, guy. This is not original at all. But do you guys have
Stay
a
out of my
thrift?
thrift store.
You know, it could be a fridge magnet. Who gets the coolest fridge magnet now?
Oh shit!
I don't know.
How far is the closest thrift store to you guys? Because it might take. The closest one to me is probably at least 20 to 30 minutes.
There's a few here in town.
Mine is 35 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's also the town that I work, so I can just. Yeah.
I've even got an antique store here in town. Pretty good size one.
I could find there is potentially one like 5 to 7 minutes away. I keep hearing about. I see a sign that it's a thrift store, but I've never seen anybody there. I don't know if people are living there. Maybe I don't know what's going on with it. Maybe I'll just be brave and stop in one time and, you know. So are we gonna? We don't have to like do a whole thing where we record it and say, hey, because if you want, you know, for the segment we can do a little, you know, recording and a little shout out. Maybe we could do that, and I'll help a local business too. We'll show them.
That sounds dope.
All
This
right.
fly is really excited about it too. I don't know if you can hear him. He was really just thrilled.
So this is scary, but Yuban, you're in charge of reminding us to hit up a thrift store and come up, even if it's, are we straight doing a fridge magnet for the first one or just the coolest item under X amount? Because there's a couple different things.
No, so because I was going to say, because the whole fridge theme, you know, for the show, to put something on the fridge. But I mean, I don't know. I think like a random item too for under $5 just opens up more possibilities. Because what if you get to your thrift store and they're like, oh, you want a fridge magnet? We don't have any of those. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Then
I feel like those are a dying thing. Like those were definitely 90s in pre, you know, before. I don't know the last time anybody's sent a magnet or done a magnet. I think Copper John's, actually I'm looking over at my wall. Yeah, Copper John's had a run of magnets for a little bit, but I think they got rid of them. He even did one with a Santa hat on it.
I think you have a better shot going to the pizza restaurant. You might be able to get one there. That's probably guaranteed.
I think we only have one of those around.
Go to your local insurance agent. They'll definitely have some magnets with the local football team schedule on it.
The calendar, yeah, those things are like, well, even the ones that have like the little tearaway calendars. Ooh, I was like, you guys are fancy spending the big bucks.
Not my insurance agency, but we did mention Copper John's. Go there. We're doing a cool thing there. I wanted to give a little thing. Somebody had a really good idea. It could have been me, and Tyson really loved it. But we're doing a thing right now. If you guys go to copperjohnsbeard.com or you just go to thebestbeardproducts.com, use code TACKLE, right? Not only is it a term and a play on football, but also tackle box. You can buy anything. Yuban, you could buy a mustache wax. Brandon, you could buy some more wax or an oil. You can buy some ball wash. You can go to theballwash.com. Use code TACKLE. You're entered to win a tackle box full of Copper John's beard products. Every single time somebody uses the code, we put one item into that tackle box. And we're going to continually do that until it's full, until Tyson cannot put another item in this tackle box. Once it's full, you use code TACKLE. We put all the names of people that use the code into a giveaway on one of his lives. Somebody's going to win. It's probably at least a couple $100 worth of stuff. So if anybody's looking for some stuff with the potential to win, could only be 50 items. You know what I mean? 50 people could buy. You got a 150 chance. Maybe you buy a couple of times. You got some more chances. So again, you go either to any of those sites, use code TACKLE. That's pretty cool, right?
That's an easy one to remember.
It is. TACKLE. You can remember that. And while we're doing that, make sure you guys go to Brio for Life, friends of the show, in the lovely month of August. You can go there, buy yourself a new nose hair trimmer. I know that I'm super annoyed, and you guys are talking about finding grays and stuff in your beard. Yeah, that sucks. But the worst thing for me is the ear hair. I've been getting super long ear hairs, so I use the nose hair trimmer / ear hair. Do you get the ear hair too? You don't get any ear hair?
I'm getting nose hairs, man.
You know what?
Nothing in the ears, though.
fuck you both on the nose hairs, and especially you, Brandon, because now every time I see the nose, I was sitting there when I was pulling out the freaking gray mustache hair. I'm looking at my nose, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's time to pull these bad boys out, and I'm like, oh, I can't because you son of bitches ruined this for me. God, I was so upset. I was going to text you both a picture of my nutsack. I was so upset with you guys. You took it away from me. But
well, hopefully, if you're going to send a picture of the nutsack, you just used a product from Brio, so that nutsack's looking nice and trimmed up. Just go use the code BeardLaws, Brio for life. Yeah. So for anybody who doesn't know, he potentially might have got sick from pulling some nose hairs. There's somebody local to me that is having kind of some similar issues to you, and it's a little bit weird. Lots of puking, lots of fevers, no answers. I don't know what's going on, but I'm staying the hell away.
I had COVID-24, like a powerful strain. You know what? And I'm probably like the first person that had it. So it's going to be like the Yuban strain.
Oh, wouldn't that be wild? And like you survive and you get to name the disease?
That would be really cool. You know what I mean? Even if I didn't have long to live, the fact that I knew that it was named after me, I'd be like, it's worth it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be in books too, you know? And we all have like a different shade of kind of like some blue hues going on here. If not like the blue hat, like what Mondays, the blues on the Mondays. What's up?
Is it the Monday blues or the balls are blue? Hopefully the Monday blues.
Oh, say it's both for me on vacation. There's no time for hanky panky in a little hotel room. No matter how much I begged. I was like, hey, even my eldest son, he had headphones on because he just likes to watch his little iPad. And I'm like, bingo. I looked at her and she's like, no, that's not happening. I'm like, make it quick. She goes, they're always quick, but still you breathe heavy. And I'm like, I always breathe heavy. Don't think I'm sleeping. I was like, don't worry about it.
Babe, I've lost 30 pounds. Remember, I was sick. I'm good.
Oh, I gained 15 of it back easily. I haven't got on the scale just because I'm like, I don't need to see this. I was like, I've been eating good. I went to this.
Daddy's been eating good.
Oh, I've been testing the limits too. We went to this pizza buffet, and I was like, all right. And it was of course overly priced because you're in a tourist destination and everything. But I looked at my son and I go, Dad's gonna eat 12 slices of pizza. And he goes, holy what? He's like, nah. And he looked at me. He's like, do it. And I'm like, so all I can hear is, you're the best. I'm like, the first plate I get 5 slices of pizza, and he's like, "What the hell?" My wife looked at me, she's like, "Dang!" And I'm like, "Appetizer." I was like, "I even got breadsticks."
Did you eat them 2 at a time?
No, I even enjoyed it 1 at a time. Like I was sitting there, just probably still like a slice every 30 seconds. I would love to just have like a Tostitos competition with Goot. I feel like I'd fuck him up, but I had the extra cheese. Dude, I never. I watched that guy, his gullet. There's no fucking way. Goot, that's why I was like, Goot, I feel like I could beat Rob 100%. I'd easy money line on that one.
Yeah. If we did it in the afternoon, I think I could give you guys a run for money on that one. I'm not eating. So for anybody that doesn't know, on the Body Wrong podcast, check them out, Body Wrong, Beard Law Studio, all that stuff, Body Wrong. July 4th, they wanted to do a hot dog eating contest. And boy, did some of them eat some hot. Burley went really hard because that's what he does. He goes hard for the bit. He destroyed a lot of hot dogs. Goot made 2 trays of hot dogs. We were like, oh shit. He's the fit one, the in shape one, kind of like you would see on an eating contest. He struggled. But I think in his mind, the original potential plan, which I don't think he got caught up in the group chat because it gets really complicated and stuff in there, was an hour worth of eating, but it got changed to 10 minutes. So I think his approach was much different. And but yeah, pizza eating, I'd be down for that. A good time.
No, there was different flavors and everything, or toppings or whatever. So I'm sitting there, extra cheese starting off, and I'm like, all right. I was like, if their cheese sucks, everything else is down fucking hill. Like, how do you fuck up cheese? It wasn't bad. My wife's like, this pizza kind of sucks, and I'm like, pizza's pizza, girl. I'm like, it has to be really, really bad for me not to fuck up pizza. Like, honestly. So I got to 10 slices. I'm still feeling confident. And this person goes, you want some ice cream? And I'm like, oh, yes, I do. What do you got? He's like, we got this praline, like pecan praline combo thing or whatever. I go, that sounds fucking delicious. Do you have a waffle cone? So I didn't get to 12 slices of pizza, but I did fuck up 10, like 6 breadsticks and a fucking nice waffle cone. I was living life.
So nice. Daddy has questions, and then I have some follow-up questions. I want to say this
because I've always lived by the thing. Like, first of all, if I eat Godfather's, Domino's, fucking doesn't matter. Little Caesars, any pizza. If I eat pizza, I'm gonna have the shits in about 6 hours. And that's not always 6. Okay.
You get 6? That's bullshit.
Right.
I get 6 minutes. Not even kidding you.
It's like how does my body know I just ate McDonald's?
That's what happens.
But if you add ice cream into the mix,
oh,
you are talking an ungodly nuclear like just thing in there that's just ready to not even go boom, but just and then just stick around. When I say this to you boys, I'm looking over here to make sure my wife isn't coming. I am not fucking kidding. I had my wife in tears last night because of how strong my fucking farts were. Okay.
oh.
She literally came in here. She had to get the birth certificate for my daughter so we can take her to school. We have a filing cabinet over here. That's where it's at. She gets in here. She walks past my bathroom and she's like, it's so good. It was like this sweet smelling beef stew. It was like you add sugary smell to something that's like strong and meaty and it shouldn't work and it doesn't. And it makes you sick. Fucking last night I'm in bed and she's like, you get up right now and you go take a shit. Stop farting.
Mm-hmm. Dude, this was last night? Yes. It must have been the moon or maybe the northern lights or something. My daughter was in the kitchen and all of a sudden it was kind of like a silent, but you kind of heard something because she's kind of like me, like really leans into it, right? And all of a sudden it hit you like a wave. And I was sitting there. The wife ran out, almost puked. It was so bad. My daughter, who it was her own fart, smelt it. She ran to the bathroom, was dry heaving. It was so bad. And I'm like, oh my God. So of course me starts to calm down, but there was this one little pocket that just wouldn't go away of just stink, right? So I take the fan, turn it on, and I start blowing it around the room at people. And they all just are like scattering. We're trying to watch the closing, like part of the Olympics, the rerun on the later version, because we heard all about like Tom Cruise and all this thing. They wanted to see it. So all of a sudden she's like, uh-oh. I'm like, go in the goddamn other room. She goes in the other room, doesn't it? And I was like, shake it out. Wait, don't crop dust us. Doesn't it? It's so strong. In the other room, we could still smell it there. The cats and dogs ran away from her. And again, she gagged and almost threw up. The wife went outside and I got the fan. It was the worst smell I think I've ever smelled in my entire life. And this is an almost 40-year-old man with IBS that has let some terrible farts go. The worst I've ever smelled.
Yeah, that's definitely next level shit, man. My wife, she'll go to me. She'll wake up and she just goes, "Why does that smell like shit anyway? It's caked on the fucking walls." And I hadn't farted for like 30 minutes, but it's pungent, dude. And like you catch it in a blanket, and you've heard of Dutch ovening, you know that. Mm-hmm. But there's something about blankets that just it holds it in until it gets wafted out, and then. Mm-hmm. Like pollen in the air.
Do they
catch somebody's nose and just
Do they make a fart detector? Not quite like a Richter scale where the vibration, but something that could measure the like stinkiest of. They must make something like a smellometer or something that can be like, all right, oh, this fart stinks, but it's only like here on the scale. There has to be something where it just. I mean, because let's be honest, there has to be more useful places, maybe like where they actually need to know the smell and detect the smell in actual businesses. If not, we just came up with $1 million idea.
I mean, because everyone knows that the warmer it is, obviously the stinkier it's probably going to be. But mine was, something like in the moon or whatever. My son, he had some nasty ones, but mine were just loud. I even have a Snapchat of one because I'm just sitting there in the morning. I'm like laying in bed, just loud, and I'm just like giggling because I'm like, I'm going to wake these fuckers up. Surprisingly, nobody did. But it was one of those ones where you're laughing and it's just constantly going with each laugh.
Like the, was it? You guys do the guess your fart. I know we've talked about it on the show before, but like that's a thing around the house. All of a sudden, like the girls or myself will be like, hey, guess my fart. And we do it. And most of the time, and I have to imagine like most of your farts kind of sound the same all the time. Most, you know what I mean? I let one the other day. It was like, and then all of a sudden it went like, and it was like almost like Dumb and Dumber. And I was like, oh, heat detector.
So you guys have seen this.
Yep.
Like, or this type of stuff. Like, I don't know if there's any truth to this, but that's totally me sometimes. But I would, and this is fascinating to me. I'm going to stop it after this one because I want to see another one. But there's something fascinating to me because I don't think all gas is the same. Like the ones we're talking about, it just doesn't and dissipate. Oh, no. It is some heavy shit. And listen, if you're watching the Beard Laws, Brandon, J McDermott, and Yuban Whakinov, Stay Out of My Fridge episode podcast, and you're this far in, how far are we? 20 minutes in.
Mm-hmm.
You realize we don't dip our toe in the gutter. We go nose first. And no pun intended. But I got to tell you, boys, something. That kind of a little prereq there. When it comes out and it burns, that's when you know it's going to be a bad one. It's going to smell. It's going to be awful. So anyway.
So I just quickly Googled device to detect odors. And I'll show you the Google results. These look pretty decent. I mean, you got an 8-in-1 professional indoor quality, not quite a little, but I'm intrigued by this one, an air quality monitor. Maybe this one here, it's kind of like one of those
Ghostbusters
thermometer ones. Maybe this could be the one. So somebody farts and be like, oh, well, then you have like a running total, like a dry erase board, be like, oh, Matt hit a 7.6. That's the highest, stinkiest fart on the old environmental tester piece. So if any companies out there want to send over this $19,000 unit, that'd be cool. But if anybody companies want to send us over something where we, the three of us, every time we rip one and it stinks, can actually detect who has the stinkiest, we would love to know which one of us have the stinkiest farts.
And you know what's interesting? I watched an episode of, don't know what it was, probably 20, 25 years ago. It was TV show, it was a daytime TV show, and they had this guest on. It was a woman. And it was her job, don't know who paid her, don't know what company she worked for, don't know if she was a consultant or what, but to test and what was the stinkiest, like substances, stinkiest smells on earth, from your underarm to under your crotch to human feces to whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And she had named off several things, and she could take a smell, but ooh, that's good. That's, I mean, not good, but like, ooh, that's a, my point with this is, like a person who's got a good palate with their tongue, I know some folks are born with more taste buds than others. I wonder if folks are born with a better sniffer as well. Meaning, there are some folks that are able to smell certain smells or really smell certain smells.
I thought you were going a different direction with that when you started going about the tasting and stuff, and I was like, all right, I know he's gonna go there, but I saw Yuban's brain. I Googled real quick trying to figure out what you were finding. I found that there's a woman who can smell Parkinson's, has actually helped scientists. Yeah, it was an article on The Guardian.
Keep her the fuck away from me. Can she smell it early? Like how? Like what's? She comes up and she's like, oh hey, pleasure to meet you, and it's like, God damn it.
I don't know if theguardian.com is a legit site or not, but it says woman who can smell Parkinson's helps scientists develop tests. Scientists drew on 72-year-old Scott's rare condition to help identify with this condition. But yeah, apparently someone was able to smell Parkinson's. There was a different odor when he was 33, 12 years before he was diagnosed. Good for you. So I guess, you always hear like dogs and stuff. Certain dogs have better things to detect, illegal substances, or, they can sense, I'm drawing a blank there. The service dogs can detect when somebody's having a seizure, stuff like that. So I guess it would make sense every once in a while a person should be able to have super sonic smells or whatever the hell it is. Oh.
Could you imagine trying to convince like the first person of that? Be like, hey man, this might be fucking weird, but I think I can smell Parkinson's. He'd be like, go home. Like, did you smoke before you got in here? Get the fuck out of here. There's no way. You know what I mean? And then, like, just be like, here, hold on, what about this? Grandma, do you have Parkinson's? Mm-hmm. See, I told you. And he'd be like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, how did you, what? Do it again. Jill, you know what I mean? That'd be so fucking weird.
That'd be a tough sell. Yeah. And then, then they have Parkinson's. Do you go up to them and be like, told you? I mean, and there's not, and I don't know, there's not really a cure for it, is there? Like Parkinson's, I don't think they have a cure for it yet. So it's not like there's that gotcha, told you. But
that's a no Marty McFly zone right there. No.
But I have to imagine if this is accurate, and maybe there's a link or a correlation where maybe this woman could help save Parkinson's and, find a cure for it. And then she gets her name from it, just like Yuban is going to, get his variant of whatever disease he was patient 0 for on there. Shout out to all the people at the pizza buffet that have it now.
Do you remember McGruff, the crime dog? Yeah, this is me like Patty
Scruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652. Yes, I remember.
Damn! Holy shit!
But it was more like Scruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652. That was the song.
I don't remember that, but damn, like I was about to say, I'm about to make you. Can you count cards there, Rain Man? I'm about to take you to the casino.
Not even close, dude. Not even close. I got pepperonis on a pizza from a mile away, though.
Oh, that's a hell of a trait.
I heard that's the ADHD will make people like space out the pepperonis. I'm like, that's a fat person thing. That's an equivalent bite thing. That's not fucking.
Yeah.
I was like, come on now. I was like, everyone needs a good ratio to the pepperoni to cheese and everything else. Damn,
didn't you post something recently, Brandon, on your socials that was like a pizza that was just the pepperoni was unreal all over?
Was that the one I just posted yesterday with the Indian folks that were Pakistani or Indian folks that were making it?
I don't remember. I just remember seeing a pizza with like an ungodly, awkward pepperoni situation going on.
I've had a couple where there's so many pepperoni on it, and I love pepperoni, but you would literally need to take a towel to it. It's that bad. Like you could put it in a cup.
There was a lot. Like
eat that much grease. Like not because it's good flavor, but I don't want to die.
Well, that and where we're from, I mean, they are pretty much, they charge you like $1 a topping. Do they charge you extra for that much kind of pepperoni? Or is it because like, hey, I only got one topping, so it's only one extra pepperoni? I don't know how that would work. Wow, that fly is getting the best of you.
Did you hear it this time though? It was pretty close.
I didn't hear it. I just saw the swatting of
when
it.
I catch it, you're gonna be really impressed. Big fuck you to Pizza Hut too, because you ever notice whenever you get two, like when it has the 2 medium pizza or topping deal, whatever, they're like, hey, what 2 toppings do you want? I'm like, can I get just 2 pepperonis? And they're like, that's an extra topping charge. I'm like, but I don't want any other topping. I just want pepperoni twice. And they're like, $1.50. I'm like, go what? It makes no sense. Domino's, shout out to you. Love you guys to death. If I go do the same thing with your fantastic mixed combo deal, 2 pepperonis, guess what you do? Don't charge me an extra fucking $1.50. Piece of shit, Pizza Hut. Fucking every week, I will continue to trash that company. Fuck Pizza Hut.
I don't have a Domino's near me, but hey, what goes better? Like, what's the best thing that goes with pizza? What's the first thing that pops in your brain?
Ranch.
Crushed red peppers.
Oh, both. I scare people because I'll go to the place and I'll unscrew the crushed red peppers and pour it into the ranch because I want the ranch to be like a paste of crushed red peppers and ranch. Oh, and it's so good.
I taught my son that too because he's like, and same thing with, I was like, hey, instead of salt in your fries, I was like, salt your ketchup. And he goes, huh? I'm like, salt your ketchup. I was like, that way, whenever you dip it, salt and ketchup every bite. And he's like, Dad, you're brilliant. I'm like, don't tell anybody. I already have a big head. I don't need to get any bigger. So now he does that with his pizza rolls or whatever. Ranch, crushed red peppers mixed in there. And he's like, every bite. And I'm like, you're learning. You're learning.
See, I'm not a ranch and pizza guy. See, I was thinking the answer I was going with chicken wings. I think chicken wings and pizza. I went a different. I don't think I explained it. And the reason why I'm asking, I saw this article, and I don't know if you guys have seen it, but lovely state of Ohio, not just the state of Ohio, but the Supreme Court has ruled that chicken wing advertised as boneless wings can actually have bones. So I wanted to hear your take on that.
So I did this story on my show, my morning radio show, but while we're chatting about this, I'd like you to look this up. Look at the backstory of who sued Ohio and what the guy's story was of why he did it when it comes to this. But yes, Yuban, the Ohio State Supreme Court ruled that boneless wings can have bones in them.
Was it because the guy got one stuck in his throat?
So he ate a boneless wing or a nugget, and there was a little chunk of bone in there, and it got stuck in his throat, and he had to have surgery, and it was like fucking awful. Like I think he almost died.
What?
Yeah, it was.
So they say though, even though they claim to be boneless, there's still
the process of taking the bones out isn't basically. I know they spelled it out a lot better than this, but basically that in the process of taking the bones out, I cannot guarantee that there's 100% no bones in here because we know how bone spurs are and little chips and stuff are in pieces of meat. We've all tasted a rib that's like, wait a minute, I didn't like that.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. The guy's name was
That's-
Michael Berkheimer. That's what I'm going to go with. He was dining with his wife and friends at a wing joint in Hamilton, Ohio. He had ordered his usual boneless wings with Parmesan garlic sauce when he felt a bite-sized piece of meat go down the wrong way. 3 days later, feverish and unable to keep food down, he actually went to the emergency room where a doctor discovered a long, thin bone that had torn his esophagus and actually caused an infection. Apparently, the restaurant was Wings on Brookwood. And this is an article from apnews.com saying the restaurant failed to warn him that so-called boneless wings, which of course are nuggets of the boneless, skinless breast meat, could contain bones. So in a 4-3 ruling, the Supreme Court said, you know what? Boneless wings are a cooking style, and that Berkheimer should have been on guard against bones, since it's common knowledge that chickens have bones.
You know, I'm looking at their wings right now. They don't look bad. They're
I
bone
know,
in
I looked at them too. Yeah. But,
So, I mean, granted, you're in New York, so I think you eat a lot more buffalo wings probably than, I mean, I love me some buffalo wings, but I don't trust the ones from pizza places sometimes. I don't know.
They're microwaved. They're microwaved. It's all. I'll eat them, but they're little mini little things, and it's like 100. Like they're about 18% meat. The rest is sauce and breading. It's sad.
see, I'm far enough from Buffalo where it's like buffalo wings aren't a thing. They're just chicken wings everywhere where I am. You know what I mean? And there's some places I've tried a lot of chicken wings, and there's a lot of places that I won't. And there's only a couple that I'll even get chicken wings from. And mainly for me, it's the price and the sauce. Chicken wing prices have gone through the roof. You know what I mean? And the biggest thing for me, and this is no knock on any business, but like if there's a place where you're having a wing night, then have a deal. And that's kind of where I go. There's 2 places that I absolutely love. They have a wing night. They're a little bit cheaper than the normal price, so you can save a little bit of money, and it gets you out and it gets people there, and they sell a ton of chicken wings. And yeah.
What's your go-to price? So if they have like a wing deal, you're like, I'm not paying any more than like what's your sweet wing deal?
I'm trying to think the 2 places that they go, they're like around $1 a wing, I think is roughly what it is. I can't remember the exact price or what the special is, but I don't even know what the normal price of them is, to be honest. Like, I mean, I look at them and I want to say they do like 10 or 12 wings, and they're right around 15, $16 maybe.
The price of chicken's nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts. We sometimes in some place, I don't remember the exact place off the top of my head, 75 cents a wing. But my point with this is more than anything, I think we kind of have this conversation, or at least we've tiptoed around it. Is it good for you to get out there and go out to eat? Do you have the money and the means to do that? Well, if you do, and you're pinching pennies, probably should find a way to do that at home. You're not going to do you're not going to be happy with what you're spending. But if you're going out and you're spending money on food, I don't care what I'm spending on chicken wings. I want them to be fucking amazing. I want them to be like this fucking big. I want to have to like almost need 3 fingers to eat these bitches. You know what I'm saying? Like I want it to be a really good big old hunking piece of meat that I don't like steroids unless it's in my chicken. That if I'm paying $1.50 for, I'm okay with it. I'm paying $16, $17, $18 for a pound of them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
if it's good, I don't care. But if you go and you get 50-cent wing night, we got 50-cent wings, and they come out and you need fucking $10 of them to like fill you up. Is it worth it? You know what I mean? So
exactly. That's mine's 75 cents as well at this local bar, and fucking tear them up. But usually if I'm spending, there's some places that charge like $2.50 a wing, and I'm like, that's criminal. You can fuck off for that. Like that's nope. But yeah, 75 cents. And it's right next to this bar. I'm like, oh fuck. Or it's a dart bar that actually, they have dart boards and everything. And I'm like, dartboard, wings, outdoor patio to smoke a little something. This is a trifecta. Bermuda Triangle. I won't leave for at least 5 hours every time.
Oh, that's what they should. That you just came up with the term for this place. They should market that. This is the write that down. The place I just looked it up to that we try to go for wing night is 75-cent dine-in only, and they do their happy hour prices for the entire wing night as well. So pretty decent place, and the wings are good. They're really really good. They're a good size. they're, they're a good wing and the sauces are good. I really enjoy them. But I'd be curious, say you guys come up here, you try them, and you're like, these are dog shit. Like I feel like so many people have like their go-to wings, and some people just can't cook them. So I want to ask you guys. The wife, when she goes out, she always has to order them extra crispy, and I'm a type of guy that's like, I want you to cook them, and if you can't cook a wing that's very good and edible, like it's kind of like I feel like a good chicken wing should have a little bit. You know what I mean? Maybe I should be. I mean, don't get me wrong. I listen to her and I'm going, oh, extra crispy. But I feel like they should just know how to cook a good chicken wing. I shouldn't have to tell them. It's not like cook my steak medium when they ask me, or how do you want your burger? Then you tell them medium or, medium rare, and then it comes out well done. I think a chicken wing should just be standard. Like, this is how they're cooked.
And it's tough because we've all eaten a wing that looked delicious and was dry as hell. And it's not a great fucking. I mean, when the protein starts breaking down and becomes gritty, and it's not good. Now, I also want to say I'm not a foodie. I'm not a cook. I'm not a chef. I have no knowledge on what to do in a kitchen other than to, oh, you're done with that? Okay, I'm going to put this on my plate. But that said, I'll say this. One time I made wings on the smoker, and I'm not sure if frying wings and smoking wings does the same thing, but it traps the juiciness inside. And so part of it also is that you're low and slow when you're on the smoker. But I've never in my life had juicier wings than on the smoker. And I also did this. I cheated and did one batch on the smoker and then took them off and put them in the air fryer for the final like 3 or 4 minutes.
That's not cheating.
That was awesome.
There's a place, I can't remember exactly, and I wish I did, but they do a combination of smoke and fried. So they'll either smoke them first, then top them off with a fry, and then sauce them, then maybe smoke. There's like a combination that they do from smoke to deep fry, and they're fantastic because you get the taste, you get the moisture. Again, that's whatever they got going on. They were fantastic.
Now I want wings. Like,
Me too.
That sounds good. Like, and I like mine a little crispy as well. I agree with you. I feel like I shouldn't have to tell them, but sometimes they feel like they're coming out. I'm like, is there still a feather on here? I'm like, this thing's fucking Gordon Ramsay. It's fucking raw. But like, if I want to be able to have like 10 moist tellets, like if I'm not covered in sauce when I'm like holding on to these motherfuckers, I don't want them. I want to be fucking just. It looks like, did this motherfucker put like Frank's Red Hot all over himself? Yes, I'm bathing in it. I want to be fucking covered. I love it. Messy wings.
It's a chore. It's a chore when I'm eating chicken wings in public, and I don't even care. And thankfully, most people are courteous. They're like, I'm going to bring you a couple extra napkins. Because nobody around here does the moist towelettes, probably because of the expense or whatever. Or who knows, people around here are probably stealing them for meth heads, or the meth heads are stealing them for the crackheads. They're using them as toilet paper in showers. I don't know. But yeah, nobody offers the moist towelettes around here. It's just cheap ass paper towels, or like the sandpaper. I don't know.
Oh, right. It's just getting the color off, not the actual fucking like the sauce. It's just, you're like, oh, at least it's not orange anymore. But I feel everything. Now, are you guys a flat or a drum?
I like them both.
I used to be a straight up drum guy, but then I realized bone means more flavorful meat. And so there may be less meat on a flat, but the meat on it is just to die for.
Same. So I was always like, I just want the drum. And then now I'm like the flat. I'm like, oh, like it seems like it's the better piece of chicken. I'm like, it's so good. I don't know how to do the whole breaking of the bone and fucking pulling it out like these people do and just eating the whole thing. I'm like, I'm going to nibble. I want to be like a little mouse. I want to make love to it. I want to put my tongue in between the flat and just make eye contact with a random person who also appreciates wings. We just have a moment just like, yeah, this is happening. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Do you know what I do? So I don't do the whole, like, I'm not trying to eat it that quick, but I'll take one end and this is the wing. I'll take my fingers between the wing and I'll like smash the tendon apart. So now we've got it like this, and the smaller one usually. And then I'll just work the wing out or even rip it off. So now you've basically got a drum and so I eat it. Now I can dip that wholly in there, eat it like a drum. That's usually what I do, but it takes a little more time and it's not a fast thing. I'm not trying to fucking gull it down as quick as I can in a fucking smoothie form, you know?
I'm not going to lie. I can take the flat and put it in the mouth and it'll come out. Like, I can do that.
See, I've seen people do that too. And I'm like, impressed. I'm over here just like 1, 2, middle.
I'll only do that if they're super, super saucy and I don't want to get it everywhere. So it's just kind of like I go mustache up, done.
Damn,
You know what I mean?
see.
And I don't do them like just pound them like I'm in a contest. I'll do that. I'll enjoy it. I'll have another drink or two of the old beverage and then go in there. But the wife always, so when we order wings, she'll get the drums because they're crispier, tip more so she'll kind of gravitate to those. And then I'm left with the flats, and I'm not mad about it. But I'm not going to be a person that goes in there and be like, "Can I get only flats, please? Extra
Same.
crispy, and can you do 4 of this sauce and 2 of this sauce?" Because I've seen some people put in some some orders like that, and it's just kind of like, yeah, those are touching somebody's nutsack.
See, that's what I'm always afraid of. And the only time that I split them up is with the BOGO Buffalo Wild Wings, which are trash. But their boneless ones, my kids really enjoy, and so I was like, "Shit, let's get 30 of them." And it was dirt cheap. It was like $8 or whatever for 30 wings. So I was like, "Can't beat that." So,
Wow.
but they allow you to do up to 6 flavors, and I'm like, "Nah, we just need 3." I got honey barbecue, garlic parm because all the kids I like garlic parm too.
I'm a fan.
The mango habanero, and you know what? I used to eat that on the regular. That's what I was like, "Give me 10 of those. I'd eat it, no problem." I've become a pussy. I don't know I took one of those and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, it's been a minute. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, did I get blazing? Like, I kept looking at it and I'm like, this can't be that fucking hot. And then I went to the garlic parm one and the residual fucking mango was still on my tongue that whenever I ate it, I'm like, this is hot too. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It was, you know what? But I still struggled. I ate at least 6 of them bad boys. But man, the next day, there ain't a fucking hair on my asshole anymore. That fucking thing is singed off.
Shit in glass.
Did you either of you ever try the Blazing Challenge back before they changed the recipe at Buffalo Wild Wings?
I've never ate at a Buffalo Wild Wings.
So they I don't know what it was or when it was. I know it was before 2007. But I remember vividly being at a Buffalo Wild Wings and a buddy of mine could eat 6 of them, no problem. And I ate one, and dude, when I tell you, I like hot stuff, but I went from never eating hot stuff to eating the fucking Blazing Challenge was part of it. But I was in the bathroom, mouth open at the sink, just fucking salivating. All I could do was just be there, just like, this is awful.
Yikes.
It was fucking, what's funny is when I eat, if it gets a certain heat level, my ears start burning, like in the inside of my ears. Like, and I'm like, oh, this is fucking weird.
Damn.
I haven't got some hiccups yet though from it.
My nose runs like nobody's business.
I sweat, but that's no shocker. So I have a hat, and but I know that I can't mess with too hot because of the stomach and stuff like that. So I just know. But every once in a while, I'll dabble a little bit, and sometimes you find a sauce. And I'm not saying this to say this. There was some hot sauce that was sent to me, and the ones that I got were fantastic. So Yuban, I do have to say this while we're on the air. He didn't send you one because you were in the hospital. I didn't know if you could be eating some hot stuff. So if you do want one, I'll get you a couple bottles. Just remind me. And we want to bring the owner on one of these shows just so he can kind of bullshit with us. We'll try some sauces. We'll talk some sauces. If he hangs out with us for the full 45 minutes or whatever, cool. He's got a nice little beard and whatever. And if it's just, the conversation stalls after 15, 20 minutes, we'll be like, see you, dude. But I want to bring him on. And I'm going to do the spoiler alert. It's Sam's House. I think that's the name. SAMSA House is going to be the hot sauce. And they sent me some stuff, and it was. I'm not just saying this. I'm very honest. They sent the Smokey J, which is the one that was on season 23 of Hot Ones, and I got the Chimchar, and it is both fantastic. Like I said, it doesn't burn, but it's just very, very flavorful, and just a huge fan of it. So even if you do want some, let me know. I'll get you a bottle or two. We'll get it sent to you. And like I said, it's good. I know you got a bottle or two too, right, Brandon?
I got the same 2 you got, and I didn't try the chimmy because I don't know if it was a chimmy one, like a chimichurri, or if it was what, but it was good. The other one,
Smokey J. Yeah, the one that the other one, I forget the flavor, like the actual one, but it was red vinegar, onion, garlic, lemon. Like I put it on some stuff with some tacos. I put it on just a chip. We just tried it had very, very good flavor. So
I want some spicy fucking food, man. I'm hungry. Like,
I know,
every
me too.
time some chips and salsa sound fire.
Oh, I know. Actually, we got some. I got some goulash. That's on my stovetop that is ready to be eaten. I don't know. At the time of the recording, it's dinner time. You guys got some food ready? I mean, it is Stay Out of My Fridge. What are you guys going to eat? Does the leftovers going to hit the fridge?
Bologna and cheese, leftover chicken.
Okay. Shit.
I have maybe, unless my kids got into it.
They did.
Fucking, I know you're right, but I'm remaining hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic that there's a couple of hush puppies left because, the kids wanted McDonald's, and I'm like, fucking so sick of McDonald's. And you know what? I was like, I'm gonna get something that's gonna stink up this entire car for the remaining hour drive home that we have. And I'm like, Long John Silver's, baby. And
hey.
like, are you really gonna get that? And I'm like, yep. And apparently I was nice again because last time I was really nice. They hooked me up with like 5 pieces of chicken. I was super friendly again. It's a 3-piece combo. There was 4 in there this time. I was like, hey, not 5, but still more than 3.
More than 3.
Shout out to Long John Silver's. I keep seeing those TikToks now. People saying, hey, who the fuck is keeping them in business? Me, bitch.
That guy.
I'm fucking satisfied. I don't care if there's a mouse that delivers the fucking change to me. I'm still eating it.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of eating this, I'm going to ask you, and then we'll get out of here so we can go eat. The other day, I was telling Yuban, I might even send a picture. I made this like real nice sauce with a white sauce, a little bit of white wine. I think there was like some sour cream. Really took my time with some pork tenderloin. It was fucking fantastic. Put it on some noodles. Was good. The next day, though, me and the wife, our stomachs. Maybe it was coincidence. Maybe it wasn't. We weren't feeling good. And then for the next 2 nights, we contemplated, like, was it the food? Was it random? So I'm asking, like, would you guys have taken the chance, heated it back up, ate it again to see if potential, like, none of us threw up. None of us had diarrhea, but we just felt a little off. It wasn't great. And I'm like, there's no way it could be the food. It was all cooked at temp. It was cooked good. Like, would you guys take a chance and eat it, or would you just dump the shit?
Brandon, go ahead.
You would do it?
I would. I mean, yeah. I mean, so to me, like, did you enjoy the meal?
Yeah, very much so.
See, yes, then absolutely, because otherwise you're gonna be like, I'm never eating that meal again. Like, I'm never gonna trust it. So to put any doubts behind it, like, I'm 100% eating that meal again. And if it comes back with a vengeance, I'm like, never eat that, never cook that meal again. And then you can put it on in the little black book or whatever. But I'm 100% eating leftovers.
I would probably try at it. Yeah.
See, there wasn't.
Okay, let's do it.
See, there wasn't enough for both of us to have another one, so it was going to be like, which one of us was going to potentially heat it up and eat it? You know what I mean? So it probably was going to. So I was like, go ahead. And she's like, well, what if it makes me sick? I'm like, well, that sucks for you. You can have it. And we passed, you eat it. No, you eat it for like a day or two. And at that point, I'm like, all right, we're chucking the goddamn thing. It's garbage night. We're throwing it away. So it wasn't like a ton of a waste, but I was like, man. And for me, like, I was enough off where I was like, I could shit or I could puke right now. And it was that way for a couple hours. And I didn't want to feel like that. So I was like, it wasn't worth the risk to me. And then we ended up making some decent food anyways. But all right, well.
I was just quick one last thing too.
Yeah,
Topgolf has this little meal. It's like little raviolis, like little stuffed ones. And every single time my wife would get it, she would get sick. And I'm like, hey, I'm trying to get laid tonight. Do not eat these fucking raviolis. She goes, God, they're so fucking good though. And I'm like, we've tested this theory out like 5 times, and you fucking quit eating them, you know. And so she finally got it again, and I'm like, bitch, like what the fuck? And she realized she's allergic to a Italian sausage or whatever. So now she does not get Italian sausage or anything. So I look at the menu. If we eat at a pizza place, she's like, meat lovers. And I'm like, is there Italian sausage on that? Like, I'm trying to touch that butthole, bro. And I'm like, if you put some on there, I'm gonna get you. You know? But yeah, so be wary of Italian sausage. And if their spouse does that 5 times, you have the authority to at least hit her in the back of the head. I give you permission.
You have Yuban's blessing. I was going to say, if you go to Topgolf, you got to run right to the kitchen first and be like, you are fucking out of those raviolis. Okay. No, we actually have, you are out of them and your tip depends on this. Are you also the guy that goes and collects the balls? Because that's going to suck for you.
Like, my aim is awful, but I'm going to try my fucking damnedest.
Also, never been to a Topgolf. My area sucks.
No, it's a 2-hour drive for me. That's why I get upset. I'm like, oh, and I got this sneaky bitch in the car for 2 fucking hours. I'm like, this is terrible.
Well, at least it's not potentially steak places or anything else like that, because that could end up pretty shitty. You don't know what we're talking about. Listen to the Body Wrong episode. Either way, we'll get out of here. We're all hungry. You're probably hungry listening to this, or maybe you've already turned it off and because we turned you off. Who knows? But either way, Brandon, Yuban, Can't thank you guys enough, and we'll be back. We'll do it all again next week. Make sure you fuckers stay out of our fridge. And Yuban's kids, let them eat those goddamn what are they, hush puppies?
Hush puppies.
You little shits. All right, speaking of shits, I'm going to go eat so I can take one. Okay, bye.
Buckle up tight, it's gonna be a wild ride. We're diving deep into your fridge where secrets hide. Mysteries of leftovers, the wonders inside. From moldy sandwiches to ancient yogurt jars, we cover the truth.